Hello baby girls and welcome to a new video. Hey. What do you think of the glasses? I know, they're so cute. I know, don't I look so cute? Sorry, got a little distracted there. Today we're just gonna do a very cutesy, a little February wrap up. Here with my heated blanket, got some water, got some snacks. You do the same, babe. Get cozy. I was gonna say because we're gonna be here for a long time, but we won't really. Let's do a little recap. So my reading goal for 2025 is 150 books. So I calculated I need to be reading around 3 books a week, 12 books a month. If you look at it like that, I wasn't too stressed. I was like, babe, easy. I can do that. Easy. Apparently not. So in January, I didn't reach that 12 book goal. This month, not really. I hit the 11 book and I'm filming this on the last day of Feb. But on the other hand, obviously February has fewer days than the rest of the months. So I feel like I've been kind of cheated here. Right now, we're at 11 books this month. 10 of those were thrillers. That's insane. That's insane. I really need to diversify again. And 9 of those were audiobooks. And you might be like, Sophia, that's really bad. I know. If anyone's watched my Get Out of Our Reading Some video, I explained that a little bit as well. So in February, for the first half, I was still in England. But also, I was just not reading. I was not in the mood to read. I don't know, I think it was Onyx Storm that really put me into a slump. Then I just decided to listen to audiobooks because, you know, I was still doing that. I still enjoyed doing that. And I was like, well, it's better than not doing anything. But then I really had to get out of the slump. I had to get back and be dedicated. And that's what I did. And I would say, I guess I'm out of my slump. I finished 3 books this week and it's Friday. So I guess I'm on track for this week. But let's just get into it. I just hope March is a more successful month, that I do actually hit those 12 books, that I don't fall into a slump, that I actually read books and not just audiobooks. Why I read so many audiobooks is because I decided to finish a series. So this series was on Next Story, the entire series. I listened to the first book in 2024 and I've been looking for all of these secondhand and I had all of them except for the second one. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna start it. I'll just listen to the second one and then when I find it eventually later in a charity shop, I will buy it or whatever. But also because these were all just sitting on my physical TBR, I knew I wanted to listen to them and I just thought it's so much easier to just immediately go to this, like the second book rather than having to figure out what audiobook to listen to next and stuff. Is the Claire McKay series. This is a Scottish police procedure detective series and they're all quite short, as you can see. I did also listen to book number 2, which I don't have physically obviously, so that is here. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So let's go through them. Obviously the first one was book number 2. Also, first of all, I had to get back into the entire story and all the characters. It starts with that there's this race, this charity fund like run race thing, and a child gets abducted. And usually I don't really care for children abductions. I mean, in real life I do, but it's some of the stories that doesn't really grasp me. I want crazy serial killers, right? But I just kind of stuck around. I decided to just enjoy it. And why this case was so different is because this child, she has a critical medical condition that she needs medication for every single day. So it's not only just keeping the baby safe. It was so many different people that could have done it and just kind of, it was all over the place. But what I quite like about all these books, because it kind of happened in every single book, I started noticing a pattern. Sorry, the sun just started shining out of nowhere. Usually what happens is that there's 2 things going on at the same time, and at the end they kind of merge. You realize, ooh, they're connected. You know, this is not just 2 separate events. And when I sort of realized that, I really started to try to like figure out how are these connected, but I didn't really guess it. But overall, I was satisfied with the story. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, I think just because the case itself didn't really like align with what I'm into, but it was still very enjoyable and I ended up giving it a 3.5 star. Now we can actually get into this whole bunch. Book number 3 is Lies to Tell. This one was about her boss is like, okay, come meet me in this remote random fucking spot. Her boss tells her, we've got this leak in our department, you know, there's a security breach, and they're like, okay, well, we want to put this ethical hacker at your station so they can try to figure out, you know, who this leak is, make a report, but just you know, don't make it too obvious. Oh my fucking god, was this one crazy. At the end, I was like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? This was so good. I had such a great time with this. Definitely enjoyed this one more. But again, I did kind of have like, where is this going? Like, who's the leak and what's going on? But also at the same time, while that is going on, there's still like a murder that happened. And that's what I like. Like, there's always something going on, even if one case is going very, very slow. In this instance, I felt like the whole hacker leak thing was not the main focus. It was really the murder, but then also how it impacted her team for her not be able to like talk about it and keep it a secret, because it's a very tight-knit community. She's a very nice team. And also there's like this side character. He's like, I think like the main side character, if that makes sense. He is so funny. I love him. I love him. We have book number 4, which is What They Knew. This one is about, it's New Year's. This woman dies, and there's this other woman that also died, but like it's kind of, they don't really have that much in common, but they're convinced they're connected, but they don't have anything to link them. It says Claire and her team must look past the obvious conclusions and delve deeper into the lives of the victims to get the truth. But who else risks meeting the same fate when the clock is ticking? Oh my god, yeah, this was a crazy, crazy ending. But also, again, something I like about the series is that you get a lot about the, like, everyone's kind of like personal life as well, and like their love life and whatever is going on. And obviously the female main character, she also has a love life, and it's quite nice because the book always kind of ends on something about her personal life or a love life or something that's been going on. It's not really a cliffhanger, but you're like, ooh, like I wonder what's gonna happen with them in the next book. Like, are they finally gonna get together? Or things like that. Like, you are also just rooting for the female main character in her personal life, and not only with like, oh, I hope she solves this case. The next one is Next in Line. This one is about a woman, and she's quite famous due to her TV career, and then her brother dies. The thing is, the only problem is with reading such a big series in one go is like you kind of forget some of the things, because like I'm like, is that this book or is that another one? Then the next one is Old Bones A Lie. This is number 6. Oh yeah, this one also has a lot more internal like police business. They have a new boss, how, you know, they hate him obviously, and like can't really do what she wants, and she really struggles with that. When a report comes in that a van containing 2 prison officers and a convicted jewel thief is missing, the police in St. Andrews work quickly to locate the vehicle. No trace is found, and doubt sets in whether they are dealing with a corrupt guards springing a felon or innocent people caught in crossfire. This book genuinely had me confused at so many points. I think it was this one. From this one on, the narrator changed. So it used to be Mary and Todd, so the author would narrate them. I think book from 1 to 5 and then 6 to 9. It was some other woman, but she sounded a lot younger, and it just didn't give the same vibe. Like the last couple of books didn't hit the same, and I genuinely think it was because of the narrator. And I do believe when the 10th one comes out that I think I'll just read that one physically. This one was really, really good though. Like the twists and stuff. I did really enjoy this one. Book number 7 is A Blind Eye. This one is about actually, see, the thing is, the stories were good. I always were like, ooh, that's what it says on the back. But then midway the book, the story would shift and like the focus would be completely somewhere else, which I did find to be the problem with those 2 storylines mixing, because I feel like in the earlier books, they kind of merged better, and now it was just kind of like, but yes, I know, but huh? So this one says, a local solicitor is found in his car's throat slit. Claire McKay is on the case. She soon learns that Harry was not the upstanding man he seemed to be. Finding the killer should be easy. Then the wife of one of Harry's colleagues is discovered dead in her car, and Claire realizes there's something more sinister at play. Can she find out who's behind the murders before they turn their attention to her? Then the second to last one, which apparently still has a bookmark in it, is Bridges to Burn. Oh, this one was really sad. This was actually a really sad story, but this was again one of those where I was like, have we lost the plot? And in the end, it kind of made sense, but for a really long time, I was kind of just confused. The body of a girl has been found, suspected suicide. It's not the only disturbing case to land on Claire's desk. Across town, an elderly man is in danger. Before the police can determine the facts, everything changes and they're presented with 2 suspicious deaths to investigate. With each new piece of the puzzle, it appears that Claire and her team have gotten it all wrong, and it is possible that a killer lurks behind the most innocent of faces. Is that my innocent face? That damn smirk. On to the last book of the Claire McKay series, and that is Dead Man's Shoes. So this one was the book that I was talking about in my most recent reading vlog. I think out of all of those, this one was my least favorite. Maybe not my least favorite, but I was the least impressed. It says, a young man is found dead near a nightclub. He has marks on his neck, the signature of the choker. A killer who's been targeting gay men across the country. Now it seems he's in D.I. Claire McKay's territory. Is he gonna piss on you? Sorry. She discovers his victim has links to notorious criminals in the area. Is it possible his death was at the hands of somebody else? More men, including the ones connected to the victim, are attacked and left injured. It's only a matter of time before someone else is killed. But Claire's desire for justice leaves her with blind spots, which puts her job and her life at risk. See, this was good, but I feel like not in a weird way. I felt like this was trying to be in and with the now. There was influencers, there was TikTok mentioned, obviously not in a weird way, but the fact that it was gay men he was targeting, I feel like it was trying to be very now. I don't know, I just didn't fuck with it. Also, I'm literally not homophobic at all. Before anyone starts saying I'm homophobic, I'm not. I literally like women as well, shut up. I think this was the book the most where I was like, we have officially lost the plot. I thought this was supposed to be about a serial killer, the choker, who entered St. Andrews. What happened? I don't know. I just didn't fuck with this one that much. That was that series. I know that took up most of the video, but I do definitely recommend it. If any one of you has Next Story, just try to listen to the first book. They are, I think, all around 10 hours or less. Then we've got some books that I read for videos, all in by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I read this in my Get Out of a Reading Slump with me. I thought this was the best pick because The Naturals and Killer Instinct both have got me out of a slump. This is book number 3 in that series, and let me tell you, this was so good. This was so good. This was so amazing. So if you don't know what the Natural series is about, it's basically about this group of young adults. They're all kind of teenagers, and they were all born with this natural talent. So one of them is really good at detecting lies. The other one can really just read body language and somebody's emotions very well. There's some profilers who can just pick up on things. Then one of the other people, she's just really smart. The FBI set up this kind of group to help solve cold cases. There's always so much more going on. There's also a little love triangle that's going on in the series, but not in your face. It's definitely not in your face. It's also not a very annoying love triangle in my opinion. Usually I'm not all for it, but in the Inheritance games, which she also wrote, there was also a love triangle. But again, to me, it wasn't that of an annoying love triangle. This book was better than the first 2 in my opinion. The first 2 were amazing, let me tell you. The first one was a little more on the young adulty side than I wanted, but obviously it was a young adult, so I did kind of expect it. I feel like with each book, also they are also getting, they're obviously getting older. It's just getting better and more to the point of what I wanted from these books. I'm gonna be so for real with you guys. I do think that this book is maybe potentially a 5-star. It just had me in a chokehold. This was a little creepy, and I was reading this before I went to bed at 12 a.m. and I low-key was kind of scared to go to bed because I was like, wait, what if somebody comes to kill me? Not that anyone would, I hope not, knock on wood. I don't know, it just got me a little nervous. Okay? But also just all the emotional things, and there was so much character development, so much. And we learned so much about our characters, about our main characters, and so much about their past, and this was insane. And honestly, I'm scared for the final book. I'm excited, but I'm scared. This series is gonna mean so much to me, it already does. It's gonna deserve I need to have a trophy shelf somewhere. Not that I have the space for it, but I need to make a trophy shelf because these definitely deserve to be on there. Then the next book that I read, which is in an upcoming video, which is not out yet, so I'm not gonna try to say too much about it. But the next book that I read, Butcher and Blackbird. I finally fucking read it after having it on my shelf for so long. Been dying to read this. I was the biggest Mindfuck fan. Mindfuck series. The Mindfuck series. I was a massive fan of that when I read it in 2022. Oh, that's like 3 years ago. Ew, that series. Okay, but that series meant absolutely the world to me. And I've heard a lot of people say that this is kind of the closest what you'll get to another Mindfuck series. Girl, sign me the fuck up. So this is a romance book, and this is the only romance book that I read this entire month that is, or the only book that's not a thriller. It is about 2 serial killers, and they create a annual game of blood and suffering, which basically they kind of fight to find a monster that they want to kill, and whoever gets there first obviously wins. This book was the perfect amount of everything, the perfect balance for me of everything. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, my rating, if you don't want to know my rating, skip 15 seconds from now or something. 5 star. Yep. It was a 5 star. It was a 5 star. Yes. And then the last book of today's video, I finished about half an hour ago before I started filming. I have the physical copy somewhere. It's my mom's book. She has the physical copy somewhere. I can't find it. She's not home. And I also just really wanted to film this video. I was like, I'm not gonna spend the entire day looking for that book. I'll just upload it. I'll just put it in a picture. That book is The Distant Echo by Val McDermid. So after I finished the Marion Todd series, I decided I need another audiobook series that I can just binge. Not even think about what I want to listen to next. Just when I finish book number 1, bam, book number 2. And this is the Karen Peary series, and I have 4 books of that series on my physical TBR. One of them I read a couple of months ago in 2024? Was that 2024? 2023? 2023! But it was December. But still. Anyway, I listened to that one as well. I think I bought it at a charity shop. It was the newest book that just came out. I was very intrigued. I was like, okay, girl, let me just read it. Loved it, gave it a 5 star. That's how much I enjoyed it. But that was obviously the last book that just came out. So now I have the book that comes after that and the 3 before. So book number 1 and 2 I don't have, but my mom has those. So that's also why I've not bought them. Finished book number 1, The Distant Echo. And this one, it didn't hit. I didn't really fuck with this, actually. What happened is that this girl, she's found dead, and she's found dead by these 4 guys, and the police believes that they have done it and they're suspects. And basically, I'm like, isn't this supposed to be the Karen Peary series? When is she gonna turn up? Have I started the wrong series? Turns out, for more than half of the book, it takes place in the past before Karen Peary is probably even born. Well, she said she was 3 at the time of this case. At some point, it got so fucking repetitive, right? Like, so repetitive that I was just getting bored. Finally went into the present. Karen was still not saying hello. I think in the total of the book, she was like, had like 10 pages, and it was like 500 something. Then it's 20 years later, it's this cold case task force. They decide to reopen that case because it's never been solved. And so much weird shit starts to happen. Since when it moved into the present, I was a lot more intrigued, but still for like the beginning, I wasn't really, because I was like, what the fuck's going on? I think this book could have been written like differently, so it's not as like elongated and dragged out. I know elongated is a weird way to say it, but it was just very dragged out in my opinion. I feel like a lot of things we hung up on which weren't that important, or they could have been said differently that would have, I don't know. Yeah, this was just not my favorite. I will say the ending, I was a bit like, whoa, what the fuck. That was crazy. But nothing too crazy, nothing I haven't read before. I wasn't expecting it to be anything crazy, but I was just a little bit disappointed. But those were all the books that I read in February. That's the month we're in. I'd say it's a pretty successful month because I had 2 5 stars. Like last year I only had like 5. I'm already on 3 and we're on month 2. Oh yeah! If you guys are still watching, comment this little emoji up here. And I will see you when I see you. Bye!